Bienvenidos a su programa de Cabeza con Andrés Roemer. Hoy traemos, sin duda alguna, a una de las personalidades más admirables del siglo XXI. Una mente genial. Welcome with us, Dr. Michio Kaku. Dr. Michio Kaku is the co-founder of string field theory and is a theoretical physicist, best-selling author. Here we have some of his books, acclaimed public speaker, renowned futurist, and popularized of science. Dr. Kaku continues Einstein's search for a theory of everything, seeking to unify the four fundamental forces of the universe: the strong force, the weak force, gravity, and electromagnetic. Now, Dr. Kaku is the author of several PhD-level textbooks and has had more than 70 articles published in physics journals covering topics such as superstring theory, supergravity, supersymmetry, and heterogeneous physics. He has starred in science programs on the Discovery Channel, the Science Channel, BBC, ABC, and the History Channel. And Dr. Michio Kaku hosts scientific, fantastic, and explorations in science weekly radio programs. So, well, if I talk to you about Dr. Michio Kaku, we will never finish. I am a big fan of him. He has been with us in more than 4 festivals of Ciudad de las Ideas. Dr. Kaku, welcome to the program. It's an honor to have you with us.
Well, it's an honor to be on your show.
Dr. Kaku, I have read your books about the physics of the future, the physics of the mind, the physics of impossibilities. But now I saw your new book about the future of humanity. If we could begin and start, if you could share with us a little bit about the bestsellers of the future of the mind, the future of impossibilities of physics. What's the difference with this new book? And then we could get in a deeper talk about the future of humanity, which I think it's amazing. And congratulations for all of them, of course. Thank you.
Well, I think that everything ultimately has a destiny. The destiny of the dinosaurs, unfortunately, was to go extinct because the dinosaurs did not have a space program. However, I think we too have a destiny. And our destiny is to have a space program that will allow us to conquer the universe. So I think that we will go back to the moon in just a few more years. 2024, we will go walking back on the moon. Soon after that, after 2030, we're going to go on to Mars because we do have a choice. We do have a choice either to stay on the planet Earth or to explore the universe. And remember, the price of space travel is going down. Realize that to put you in orbit, to put you, Andres, in orbit around the Earth, your body would have to be made out of solid gold. Imagine your body made out of solid gold. That's what it costs. That's what it costs to put you into orbit around the planet Earth. But because of SpaceX and many other innovations, the cost of space travel is dropping so dramatically that one day mom and dad could go into outer space. So that's where our destiny truly lies, to explore the universe.
Talking about expensive things, I remember once you mentioned how much did cost the movie Mars. And you compare it of how much it cost a trip to Mars. Could you elaborate a little bit, just so that people could get a dimension about the prices?
Yeah, well, going to the moon, first of all, is easy. 3 days. 3 days in a rocket takes you to the moon, but it would cost about $100,000 per pound to put you on the moon. Now, to put you on Mars would cost about $1 million a pound. So if you weigh 100 pounds, that's $100 million minimum to put you on the planet Mars. But this is where SpaceX comes in. SpaceX is pioneering reusable rockets. That's a game changer. That could drop down the cost of space travel by a factor of 10. Now, if you were to take a car ride and junk your car after just one ride, cars would be extremely expensive after just one ride. That's what we do with rockets. We use rockets just once, and then we throw them away. That's why space travel is so expensive. And that's why the Apollo space program to the moon eventually collapsed. In 1966, the Apollo space program, which took us to the moon, cost 5% of the United States federal budget. Imagine 5% of every dollar you spend on income tax went to go to the moon. That was unsustainable, and that's why it collapsed. But the new generation of rockets are reusable. Plus, with private enterprise, billionaires are opening up their checkbooks to underwrite some of the costs. These are tremendous game changers, which are going to open up the heavens for mom and dad.
So this is the Moore's law in a way, no? If we could elaborate on it, I mean, every 18 months, technology and computers, etc., increases and the price decreases exponentially.
That's right. Moore's law means that every 18 months, as you pointed out, computer power doubles in power and prices go down by 50% as a consequence. This means that we have sensors, microsensors, microchips that can tell us exactly what's happening to a rocket. A rocket has so many moving parts that's one reason why they blow up. 1% of the time, rockets will explode. And they're not reusable. Now with sensors, computers, the internet, we can track rockets and reduce the price of rocketry to the point where going to the moon is easy. We're going to have a traffic jam around the moon. NASA has the SLS booster rocket aimed at the moon. Elon Musk of SpaceX has the Falcon Heavy. The richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, has the New Horizons and the New Armstrong rocket. And the Chinese have the Long March rocket. 4, count them, 4 rockets which will take us to the moon, giving us a traffic jam around the moon because space travel is dropping in price. Because of Moore's law, because of all the innovations, we now know that it's relatively cheap to go into outer space.
I'm impressed when you open the program mentioning about the dinosaurs. I mean, I don't know if 99% or 95% of our species have been extinguished. You're saying that in a way for humanity in the future to survive, we'll have to conquer another planet or to travel for, it's much more than just a research. Is the future for our survival as a species?
Well, it's a law of physics that one day the Earth will die. We know that the Earth itself will die in about 5 billion years when the sun eats up the Earth. But we also know that on a scale of millions of years, another asteroid could hit the Earth, just like what happened to the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Not to mention, we also have the problem of pandemics, viruses that could attack the human race. We also have problems with nuclear proliferation, the greenhouse effect. So sooner or later, we're going to have an insurance policy. Now, I'm not saying that all of us can go to Mars. That's too expensive. But we need Plan B, just in case something does happen to the planet Earth. An asteroid, a virus, global warming, the sun, so many ways in which the Earth can be destroyed. And that's why we have to have Plan B, a escape clause, a safety net in case something does happen to the planet Earth. Now, 99% of all life forms on the Earth have gone extinct. Extinction is the norm. If you don't believe me, drill right under your feet right now. Drill under your feet. What do you find? Bones, fossils, bones of the 99% of animals which no longer walk the surface of the Earth. We don't want to be among those bones. We want to soar into outer space.
Increíble. It's really amazing to talk with you every time. Thank you very much. Doctor, when I read your book about the impossibilities of physics, you mentioned the idea of traveling to the past. And you mentioned something, if I could travel to the past and meet my mother. Could you elaborate a little bit about the past? And then I want to make you a question about the future.
Okay, well, Isaac Newton thought that time was like an arrow. You fire the arrow, it never deviates, goes in a straight line. Einstein comes along and says, not so fast, not so fast. Time is a river. It speeds up, it slows down as it meanders across the universe. The new wrinkle in all this, coming from string theory, which is what I do professionally, that's what I do for a living, shows that the river of time can have whirlpools. It could fork into two rivers. And if you have a whirlpool in the fabric of space and time, it means you can go back and meet your teenage mother before you're born. And maybe your teenage mother will fall in love with you, and then you're in big trouble if your teenage mother falls in love with you before you're born. Now, Einstein himself knew this. But Einstein thought that you couldn't go into the past because there was not enough energy. You need the energy of a black hole, tremendous amounts of energy. So I think that time travel is not for us, but maybe a civilization in outer space, more advanced enough, can create a whirlpool in the river of time, just as was predicted by string theory and by Einstein's own equations. This is hypothetical, but it is mathematically possible to go backwards in time.
Well, keeping on that line, in your book about the future of the mind, you mentioned how we will date other couples and what we will have with our special lenses. Could you talk a little bit about the future of the mind and telepathy and the way we will be dating and having information from other people?
First of all, the internet will be replaced by BrainNet. We will connect the human brain directly to the internet, and you will think, and you will be able to send thoughts, emotions, feelings on the internet. Teenagers will love it. Teenagers put a happy face at the end of every sentence. In the future, you'll put a thought, a memory, a feeling at the end of every sentence. This is going to revolutionize the movies and television. In the old days, we had silent pictures with Charlie Chaplin, silent pictures with no sound. Sound came along, and who wants to see silent movies anymore? With the coming of BrainNet, who wants to see a movie? A movie is nothing but a screen with sound. No emotion, no feelings, no memories. And so BrainNet will change the way we interact with other people. We will also be able to feel people's suffering. So when we see the plight of disadvantaged people, we won't say to ourselves, ha, they're faking it. It's all a bunch of lies. No, you'll feel. You'll feel other people's suffering. So in the future, when you walk into a room, you will immediately connect to the internet, mentally send emails, mentally send instructions, download feelings, download memories.
Wow.
And when you talk to people, the internet will be in your contact lens. You will blink, and you will be online. And when you blink, you'll see the biography of the people you are with right in your contact lens. So you will always know who you are. You will always know who you're talking to. You'll always know the background of everybody around you. Information will be free, and it'll be for yours taking mentally by thinking about it.
It sounds amazing. It sounds very scary also in terms of our private information. Our emotions will be known. It will be very difficult even to lie or to lie to ourselves. It's amazing.
Well, just like with the internet, there's an off button. And so when we communicate with other people and we don't want them to read our mind, we simply hit the off button and you are no longer broadcasting. So you have to give permission. you have to give permission to the internet to set up this telepathic channel. Now, remember, this already exists in primitive form. We physicists already brain scan the living brain. We can see thoughts being formed in the living brain with chips inserted on the surface of the brain. We could even control robots. We control exoskeletons. And some people think that this will eventually give us immortality. Because if all this information can be digitized, when you die, your digital memories survive forever. So one day you'll be able to talk to your great-great-great-great-grandchildren, and they will talk to you because you will be immortal. This is called digital immortality. The fact that our digital signature, our memories, our feelings will survive forever on the internet, even if our physical bodies don't survive.
Amazing, amazing, Dr. Kaku. Two questions that come to my mind. First, you were talking about movies. I was imagining what will happen, or what happens actually when Dr. Kaku watches a movie like Interstellar. I can imagine you are every 10 seconds saying, there is a mistake about physics. Probably you are having fun, but I would love to watch with you a movie like this one. What do you think about this kind? Did you see Interstellar? What happens with you when you see this fiction?
Well, it used to be that when I saw a science fiction movie, I would count the number of laws of physics that were violated in the movie. I don't do that anymore because I realize it's fiction. And sure, the laws of physics themselves can change with time because the laws of physics are not complete. So we have to be humble. We can't simply say, ha, humbug, that's a bunch of nonsense, because our understanding of physics itself is incomplete. So we have to be a little bit more humble when we watch a science fiction movie, realizing that some of the crazy things in those movies may one day be true.
Dr. Kaku, you provoke me with what you just said. My question is, the laws of physics are incomplete, or actually we haven't discovered them so far, and that's what it is, incomplete, but the laws of physics are already complete?
Well, the laws of physics are incomplete. I can write on one sheet of paper all known fundamental laws of physics. One line would be Einstein's equations. The other lines will be the equations of Maxwell and the quantum theory, and that's it. But you see, at the other side of a black hole, on what happened before the Big Bang, these are areas that are outside the equations on that sheet of paper. That sheet of paper says nothing about what's on the other side of a black hole, says nothing about what happened before the Big Bang. That's why I say that the laws of physics are incomplete. Now, Einstein, for example, says that our universe is a bubble. We live on the skin of the bubble's expanding, that's called the Big Bang theory. But string theory says there are other bubbles out there. There's a multiverse, a bubble bath. Think of it, next time you take a bubble bath, realize that one bubble could be our universe. And we are coexisting with different laws of physics. And that's why I'm saying we have to be a little bit humble, thinking that we know all the laws of physics, when actually we do not know what happened before the Big Bang or what happened on the other side of a black hole. For example, we think that when two bubbles collide, that's the Big Bang. Or maybe when a bubble fissions into two small bubbles, that is the Big Bang. So there was a universe even before Genesis. Even before Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, there was a multiverse of universes.
No, because what you're saying, it's extremely important because of the implications. One thing is that we have to discover the laws, but a very different thing is that physics as it is, it's complete. I mean, we have to really understand what's going on. It brings me to the following question. If we start everything again, from the Big Bang to now, or even before, we will be exactly talking today in this program, you and me, because that was like the laws of physics. There is like or there is a, between even the random thing because of the law of physics, this is the kind of predeterministic situation that at the end we will be talking about? Is there a degree of freedom?
Well, you ask a profound philosophical, even religious question. For example, when I was a child, I was raised as a Presbyterian, a Christian, but my parents were Buddhists. In Buddhism, there is no beginning, there's no end, there's only nirvana. But in Christianity, there was a moment in Genesis where God said, "Let there be light." So as a child, I said, either the universe had a beginning or it didn't, which is correct. Now, with this new paradigm shift, we have a multiverse. Our universe had a beginning. Our universe did have a genesis, a big bang, but there are other bubbles out there, other bubbles floating in nirvana, nirvana of hyperspace. And these bubbles can collide and give you big bangs and new creations. And so we're now melding together Buddhism with the ultimate high energy physics, string theory, giving you a merger of two very different philosophies, a universe with one beginning existing in a multiverse of universe which has no beginning at all. So I find that very pleasing, the fact that we can combine nirvana of Buddhism with the Big Bang Theory and Genesis.
It's amazing to talk with you. Dr. Kaku, we have been talking about the future of humanity and traveling to space, but before that, I have read, well, we have seen, all of us, that there is like a debate between these two billionaires, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, about robotics and about the future of artificial intelligence. It's not so far like traveling spaces. And I know that for you today, probably robots are like a retarded cockroach, and they're very far from being very smart. But there is this pessimistic view by Elon Musk and this very optimistic view by Zuckerberg. Where is Dr. Kaku in that debate?
I think that both Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are partially correct. I think in the short term, Zuckerberg is right. In the short term, AI will give us prosperity, jobs, new industries, whole worlds will open up with artificial intelligence. Things will be cheaper, more efficient, society will be richer. But in the long term, watch out. In the long term, let us not be naive. At a certain point, robots become self-aware. That's the turning point, self-awareness. Now, right now, robots do not know they are robots. You can go right up to our most advanced robot and try to talk to it, and it's clueless. It doesn't know that it's a robot. No sense of self-awareness. However, late in this century, they may become self-aware, in which case they could become dangerous. At that point, I think we should put a chip in their brain to shut them off if they have murderous thoughts. Now, when will that happen? Right now, our most advanced robot has the intelligence of a cockroach. Even a cockroach is smarter than our most advanced robot. Eventually, our robots will be as smart as a mouse, then as smart as a rat, then as smart as a rabbit, then as smart as a dog and a cat, and then finally, maybe as smart as a monkey. At that point, they are dangerous because monkeys are self-aware. They know they are monkeys. They know they're not human. Now, dogs are confused. Dogs think that we are a dog and that we are the dog just like them. No, but dogs don't understand that. That's why they obey us. Monkeys are not so silly. Monkeys know they're not human. So when robots become that smart, we should put a fail-safe system in their brain to shut them off.
So that dogs perceive that we are upper dogs? That's amazing.
Yes. So just remember that our machines, our most advanced machines, have no sense of self-awareness. When our machines beat the world's best chess player, You could not go to the IBM machine, slap it on the back, and say, "Congratulations, congratulations, you just beat the world's best chess player." No, the computer didn't even know it was playing chess. The computer didn't know it was a computer. It had absolutely no sense of self-awareness. It's a one-trick pony. And that's why we shouldn't be scared of computers. Most computers are one-trick ponies. They can only do one trick, and that's it. They can add, they can subtract, but can they talk to you? Can they make a joke? Can they create something creatively? No. All they can do is one thing 1,000,000 times faster than you.
Dr. Michio Kaku, it's really an honor to learn from you. Thank you very much for your time, for your generosity, and for being a human being with this curiosity and this altruistic brain that help us to really think and imagine and bring so many questions to ourselves. It's really a pleasure. Muchísimas gracias.
And my website is mkaku.org, mkaku.org.
Thank you very much, and please say hello to Shizu and have a good night. Gracias.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Pues señoras y señores, esto es Una mente brillante. Michio Kaku, todos sus libros, todos que ha escrito, no sé, 12, los que sean, todos son bestsellers del New York Times. Pero no importa eso. Tener la oportunidad de en cualquier parte donde usted se encuentre, pensar mucho más allá del punto de referencia que siempre hemos pensado, es pensar de cabeza. Muchas gracias, nos vemos el próximo domingo. Buenas noches.